Hi everybody, I just wanted to make a video dedicated to this company, WAG. I started working for them about 1 month ago, and it's sort of a side hustle, a part-time side hustle for me. And basically, it's an Uber for dog walking. So what happens is once you sign up for the company and you go through a background check, you are are sort of like an independent contractor for the company, and every time that an owner wants a dog walk within your area or within the area that you're willing to travel to, you get a notification on the app that has a picture of the dog and how far away the dog is, the breed of the dog, etc. And what happens is you request that walk, and through an algorithm designed by the company, you are paired with that dog. The earlier that you request a dog or a walk with a dog, the better, and the higher the probability that you'll be selected to walk it. And the application fee is $25, and that's supposed to cover the expense of the shirt and the actual dog walking background check. So the purpose of the background check is to make sure that people's dogs are not being walked by ex-cons. And after you're accepted, you set your own hours. You can write when you're available, within which range you're willing to go. So you could select walks that are 5 miles from your house, or 2 miles from your house, or 3 miles from your house. And the algorithm automatically sets you up so that you can walk these dogs. Once you start walking the dogs, the algorithm will adjust itself. So let's say I live in Brooklyn, New York. So let's say if you're in one area and it's 2 miles away from your house, and there is a walk 2.5 miles away from your house, the app will compute that automatically. So if you're 2 miles away from your house, they will set you up with walks that are within the range of the walk that you finished. So it's kind of like an Uber for dog walking, and I really recommend this job for people that are looking for some extra money on the side. If you primarily have one job but are looking to pay off some extra debt, are looking to have some extra pocket money, etc. I've been working for them for a month, and there are actually lots of benefits apart from the money, because first of all, you get to be around what I consider the best species of animal, including humans, in the world, which is dogs. You can't really go wrong with dogs most of the time. 99% of the time. Dogs are friendly. Owners are very friendly, surprisingly. I haven't had very many problems with owners. Now, the owners get to rate you on a 1 to 5 rating scale. And I've had two owners that have rated me below 5. One of them gave me 1 star, and one of them gave me 4 stars. So right now I have a 4.89 rating with the app, which is good, But it's very highly competitive, this app, because if you drop below a 4.75 rating, your account may be deactivated, which is not good. And once it's deactivated, you can't be rehired by the company. So that's how they basically vet out who's in it for the money and who's really in it because they love animals and they care for the animals. So that's the first plus with it, is that you get to basically express your love for these animals, and that's very healthy for just strictly on a mental health level, from a mental health standpoint, because people get to bond with animals that are perfectly harmless, and it makes you a better person. It makes you a better human being if you're around dogs. I find that's very true. You tend to trust people more. I've had very positive interactions with owners through the app, and just it lifts your mood no matter what you're going through in the day. If you have at least one dog that you walk, your mood goes up automatically. So that's one benefit. And also, exercise. It's very boring to go to the gym. It's very boring to put on the gym attire and go there and walk around on a treadmill. But here, you're motivated, first of all, by the monetary gain, and second of all, because you get to see an animal. So you're motivated to move your ass and get on a bike to the location that you have to walk the dog. You lose a lot of weight just by working for this company, and it doesn't feel like you're exercising. If you're handling big dogs, when they pull from you, you pull back, and that engages all of your core muscles. And it's a lot of cardio if you're walking or you're biking to these locations. Even if you're taking the train, you still burn off a lot of calories because you're walking from the location to the train stop. You're constantly, if you're dedicating 7 hours to this, you're going to walk a lot regardless if you're on foot or if you're on a train. It's a very positive experience in that sense, just mentally and physically. And in terms of money, it doesn't pay a whole lot of money because they charge about $30 per walk, and you walk away with $18 per hour. But the owner can also give you a tip. So the owners that tip wag walkers will always have a wag walker on hand. So if you are getting $18 an hour and the owner tips you $6 an hour, that's $24 in an hour, which is not bad at all. Now, you do have to pay taxes on this money because you're an independent contractor. And after you reach about, I think it's $600, WAG sends you a 1099, and you're registered as a free contractor officially, and you're accountable for all of the taxes, for all of the money that you earn. But the positive is that when you have an influx of money, you feel more financially afloat, and you can pay off debts very fast that have interests on them. So if you have credit cards, if you have student loans, this is a very, very good way to have that extra bit of money to save and to pay off those debts before they get out of control, which they are for many people. It doesn't feel like a job at all because I personally love dogs, and if you're a dog person, it doesn't feel like work at all. And I haven't done this full time, but I've heard that people that do it full time can get up to $10,000 in 3 months, which is not bad at all. If you live in a high rent city like New York or Los Angeles, you're able to pay the rent and have some extra money on the side. So I really recommend this company. For owners of dogs, the whole concept is that you don't have to be home in order to have a wag walker walk your dog, because they send you a lockbox and you can write the code in the instructions on the app, and the wag walker can open your door without you being there. For transparency, you might want to consider getting cameras in your house so that you're absolutely positive that the walker didn't steal anything. That's another issue. But again, the people that work for WAG know that if they're caught stealing, if they're caught abusing your dog, or if they're caught doing anything fishy, they will be deactivated very easily. It's very easy to deactivate a WAG walker because their rating has to be at minimum 4.75 in order for them to stay within the company. You're taking a bit of a risk, but in some way, the more experienced walkers have sort of been filtered through the system, and they've had to not only take a background check, but also make sure that their rating is high. There are almost no cons to this job. I would say the only con is the fact that you have to calculate your own taxes. If you are in a job that you don't like and you're looking to transition or make more time for yourself, this is something to consider. If you're in a rut, if you're going through a hard time, what better way to get out of a rut than to take care of dogs? That's just me. So, there's nothing to lose by trying it, and I really, really, really suggest it to people, especially if you're exiting narcissistic relationships or are going through a rough patch, because dogs restore your spirit, dogs restore your soul, and they remind you of your best qualities all the time. Every time I see a dog, every time I walk a dog, my mood just goes up automatically without even trying. And that's all I have to say. It's a great opportunity. And there are other apps like Rover that have a similar similar functionality, except that Rover is more for dog sitting than dog walking. It has a little bit of a different system. In my opinion, it's probably harder to get approved by WAG than it is to get approved by Rover, because I've already read into their policy, and it's not as strict as WAG. But yeah, I totally recommend this, and I've had a complete blast. I'm continuing to have a complete blast. The only thing I would say is that if you're not careful, you can spend too much time on this app, because you have to pick your clients. So they don't send you notifications. You have to look at the app and see what clients want to walk where. And so if you're not careful, you could spend many, many hours just staring at the app, which is not good. So let's say if you have a full day off, like a Saturday, try to allocate 8 hours in that day to doing the things that you need to do, and then the other 8 hours working for WAG. You can listen to audiobooks while you're walking. You're not wasting your time essentially because you're exercising, you're walking. You could listen to audiobooks. You can study through audiobooks. So there's many things that you can do during this process with WAG that will make it worthwhile if you plan correctly. Now, don't listen to audiobooks while you're walking the dog because you want to give the dog your full attention. But on your way there, you can listen to audiobooks, you can learn new languages, so it's very productive. Anyway, kisses.